Welcome back to another episode of Horrible Wi-Fi Fighters. That is HWFFF. The extra F is for extra fun. And what's the extra fun for today? Well, it's Skywars, as you probably know. It's the only one I'm honestly really playing these days, honestly. And today, you may notice that the visuals may look a little bit different. I want to apologize for that. And, yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. We'll be still figuring some things out. I almost died there. So today there's some topics I was kind of thinking about, like what should I talk about, kind of thing. And there was one that kind of was in my mind for a little bit, and maybe you guys would find this interesting. Maybe you guys have some thoughts about it. Things like Blockbuster. This guy's not falling. There we go. It's not Blockbuster per se. It's not Netflix. It's none of those things really. It is primarily there were like two gaps, like the gap that guy fell in. There's the gap that we're in now. And then there's the gap that we were in like years ago. Maybe there's another gap back in that I don't know about, but I'm not that, old. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. You want to go in the gap? Yes, everyone wants the gap today. So, what is this gap I'm talking about? So, I'm going to say about 2007, 2008, maybe 2006. Maybe it was just me, but maybe there's other people as well that kind of felt like this too. That movies that were coming out weren't all that good. Okay, so you had, I don't know, I can't quite think of them, but I remember back in the time where we were moving in a sense, and we moved about that time. That was when National Treasure 2 came out, and I remember that because I was like, why aren't there any good movies out? There was maybe a few here and there. Some people could probably argue that there's some pretty great movies around that time, but I was a kid. I'm a kid at this time, and I'm not thinking about all these amazing, phenomenal things or whatever. Like, there were some shows here and there, and I think Netflix. I just looked it up. Netflix was a thing like at 2007, 2008 area, but it was just kicking off, and a lot of people weren't really thinking anything about it at the moment in time. So like at 2007, 2008, there was this period of like no good movies. You had the Incredible Hulk that came out, but like nobody really wanted to pretend that existed. Everyone wanted to pretend that didn't exist. Excuse me, sir. I probably shouldn't have done that. I would need to be a little bit further. And he died by fire. Sweet. Or that. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you guys remember some things differently than me. Oh, almost died. This is why you put hotkeys in you pay attention to hotkeys, guys. Die. Goodbye, sir. And I'm getting ganged up on. Okay. Out of here. And then 2009 hit. And that's when you had things like Iron Man, and you had a couple other movies out there. It's mostly like, I don't know, for some reason I affiliate like the Marvel universe that's starting, and then all of a sudden there's a lot more movies that were actually coming out. I just feel like people were paying more attention to story, and well, maybe not really story, because even a lot of the Marvel stuff wasn't necessarily like the most storytelling wise, phenomenally made movies. There was some good stuff in there, but still. Hello, would you like to die? Yes, he would. Marvel starts 2009. I feel like there was a lot of more movies going out that time. You had a lot more, like, I think Toy Story 3 and 4, although some people kind of hated 4 and thought that 3 should have stayed there. Not here to talk about that, even though some people may be wrong about whatever the perspective is on that. I'm not gonna tell them they're wrong, but anyway. So there were some other movies that were still being made, and they were pretty well done, pretty good stuff. But then, I feel like for some reason after Marvel was kind of done. They finished with Endgame. Like, that guy just got finished. And then all the movies just tanked. It was like everyone just decided that they were going to figure out how to do movies later. There was no importance of how to do a story. There was no importance on how to do, a good script or actual, like, good. Maybe the acting was pretty good. Maybe you got some of that. But I feel like a lot of the movies that are being made these days are just really flat. Excuse my wrist from making a popping sound. I'm not that old. Anyway, it's kind of sad. I think it was up until I feel like the best Marvel movie that they made last was really Tom Holland's third movie. I feel like that one really kind of pulled a lot of people together, especially having other other actors in there that supported the movie very well. I felt like that was really one of the last ones that did a phenomenal job. You had some of the shows in there, but the shows were really not about the character, like the Hawkeye show, for example. But you still have like a lot of other shows that were still, being done. That were, you could still argue that those were pretty good. But now, today, oh, excuse me, no one with armor. Okay, don't do that. Don't come up. Okay, excuse me, sir. Hello. Wait for it. Gap up. Change the pearls. Pearl in. Goodbye, sir. He can rod. He can do it, but he didn't have the gumption though. But now today we have this other gap. Maybe you guys see it too. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But I sense this drop in quality in movies, especially. And there's probably multiple reasons why that's happening, but anyway, it's not just like Marvel or Disney or any of those, but it's kind of like a whole group thing where you kind of look out there and I'm kind of unimpressed with what's being produced these days. It's like for some reason everyone's got to go the live remake, the live action remake thing, and they have like now there's like what Lilo and Stitch, and then there's How to Train Your Dragon. I was severely disappointed with How to Train Your Dragon, and some people may be kind of upset for me saying that, but I mean, DreamWorks, you had a prime opportunity. Yes, maybe the copyright stuff, maybe you had to get more legal things done, and he's hiding, so we're going to blow him up. Maybe there's a couple things you guys had to do in order to get more of the rights to do the actual books, but I mean, you had some of the rights there anyway. I don't think it would be that hard to do. I just feel like there was a missed opportunity for doing the books. They really should have done that, and I don't know why they didn't. Anywho, this guy is still alive. So we're gonna do that. Goodbye, sir. Yes. Yes. Anyway, maybe there's some things you guys have thoughts on. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any. But right now, we're gonna just do some awesome PvPing, and yeah, movies can wait for another day. It's getting nicer out. Do people ever say something like, if you don't know what to talk about, just talk about the weather? But then you're sitting there with a group of people and you have like no idea who they are, and then you're like, nice weather we're having. It's beautiful clouds I see. It's a little bit humid. But like, you ever do that? Some people, I do it as a joke these days. Maybe I've said this before. I don't know if I've said this before, but I told a couple people this, where there'll be this lull in a conversation. Like there was one time where it was really awkward, and somebody got up and left, and so it's just kind of all of us just kind of standing there, and the conversation just died, and so everyone's kind of thinking, what happened? Speaking of what happened to this guy? He's like AFK or toggling something. I feel like if he was I feel like he just stopped playing the game. He was done. But those people, they were like, I have no idea what to talk about now. And so I was like, some great weather we're having, huh? Or like, what's wonderful weather we're having? And everyone just died. It's kind of funny, but you can use the weather thing as I don't know how to say it, but like a means to just kind of lighten up the atmosphere. Get it? Okay, that was terrible. Goodbye. He wants to play video games, but he didn't know how to play. He lost his spacebar button. Yeah, it's funny conversations like that. It's funny things like that. I think that's one of the areas I want to get better in, is just like conversations. I'm not the greatest conversationalist when it comes to just, talking with people or groups of people. Everyone always seems to like know what to say, but then I'm kind of sitting there like, well, that was kind of weird or like awkward. Like nobody has those thoughts. Maybe they do, but they're just not thinking it. I'm pretty sure they do. Nope, not today. I heard that. Time Warp and Pearl, and you got that face on? No, thank you. This should come right back. Alright, well, it's been more than 3 seconds. He hasn't come back yet. That was a regular Pearl. What are you doing? Goodbye. Yeah. Oh, okay. Something happened with that one right there. We don't talk about it. But yeah, outside of movies and weather, there's also like weddings going on. And like everybody's getting married in June. Like my parents got married in June, like the end of it though. But then some people just got, there was like a wedding yesterday, and then there's a wedding like a couple weeks or so, maybe a week or so from now. Hello. You gonna fight me? That's so weird. I don't know what they're thinking when they like look at you and you're like, "Do you want to fight me?" And they're like, "Yes." And then they jump down like, "Dude, did you read the chat? Like, read it. It says that." Okay. Go. Excuse me, sir. He wants to. Oh boy, that's awkward. Yeah, so like this is a bunch of weddings, a lot of traveling and stuff. I don't want to say a lot, but I feel like when there's one wedding, that's one thing. But then there's like two, it's like okay. But a lot of traveling and stuff like that. Excuse me, sir. Peace out. But yeah, it's been pretty good. It'll be a good couple days. And bye. And thanks for watching. Catch you next time.